Conclusion. This book has looked at metaphysics to the point of finding its ultimate source. We have found, and I put forth, the conclusion that this ultimate source is consciousness itself, with the first primary force of the creation of this physical universe by the conscious idea of the being of all that is. As well as this, we find that in that creation that all things are as well conscious, and that the creation continues at every moment. All that is within every part to include the human experience, and so we are not so far divorced from this creative power, but part of it. We have the attributes of consciousness and creativity, but we have also determined that the creation of the physical universe is not only by our single type of consciousness, but a mass web of interactions of consciousness. I put forth that consciousness is a metaphysical property. It is evident by our own self-awareness that it exists, but it is nowhere physical. This is in the same category of thoughts which I also place within the metaphysical. Thoughts are not, however, the primary source of what we are looking for, because they have their source from consciousness. Yet it is the thought that produced the first metaphysical form that may then become the physical actuality that we perceive. Seth has told us of the process where these thoughts go and their characteristics. What this has shown for our conclusion is that they do follow what he considers certain laws, much as our physical universe follows physical laws. All of these laws and actions may not be understood in the same fashion as those of our physical universe, but for what we can understand is that they have a metaphysical action in the formation of the physical universe. Within this book, I hope to have shown you that the metaphysical is a fact as part of our universe, and that we are all using this aspect of our universe with each thought we have. I have shown that it is not far away or esoteric, but a natural process by which the universe operates. We are part of that process, and being the conscious creators that we are, can choose to form our reality the way we want it, to be within the framework of the interactions we have with all other consciousnesses involved. Our particular focus and ego has allowed us to create in many ways what we can imagine, and this is now evident in our world by the wonders man has created. So each and every one of us are part of this creativity and the universe. These ideas can be understood by us and studied. I will end this part with one last quote from Seth, Unknown Realities, Session 725. Quote, break. You cannot explore the nature of reality, hoping to discover its unknown aspects, if you insist that those aspects correspond with the known ones. End quote. What this means to me is, if you want to know what you do not know, you must be ready to accept what is unknown. This is where the scientific paradigm fits in. We are often blind to something because we do not accept it as true. We have the capability to know more that is beyond this reality and of our very being. It is our focus in this reality that produces this paradigm, but if you want to look beyond it, you can. I will end this book with a colorful analogy. I have imagined myself as a ship on the sea. When I started out, I had little cargo, and I was light. As I traveled this sea, I was buffeted by the wakes of other ships, tossed around a bit, till I amassed enough mental weight in cargo to sail steady. I followed some of these wakes and drove through others. Now I look behind me and I find I too am leaving a wake that others will encounter. If you have this book, you have come across one of my wakes. You may get tossed by it, go plowing through it, or follow it. In this analogy, I would place Seth as a submarine. He's not on the top of the water to see from our ship's helm, but we still encounter his wake. Some, as I, may be curious enough to wonder what is under the water that made this wake. We can look down into the water and see what we can, and get glimpses. Myself, I climbed down into the bowels of the ship to see what was below, looking for a window under the water so I can see from. When I found it, I discovered much. My ship was really more than half under the water. I had not realized this before and wondered at the ability of this water that supported my ship. In fact, if it was not for the water, I would not have a ship at all and would not be going anywhere. I have a warning to other ship captains who wander down here to look out a window to this underwater part. Though the view is beautiful and you can see many things you cannot see from above, do not stay away from your helm too long. I myself got so transfixed on some of the wondrous things below the surface of the water that my ship hit another. I regret this, but it has taught me a lot, as every experience does. So in this I had to stop and repair the damage to the ship before going on, so it took some time to get back up to speed. Within this text I have also explained the aspects of metaphysics to include not only objects but events, as having their beginning as metaphysical concepts. Though we only touched on emotions, it should be obvious as well that they too are metaphysical. We cannot see emotions or manipulate them physically, but their existence is made apparent as they are expressed and manifested into action. I have come to an easy definition of what may be classified as metaphysical or physical, though on the quantum level there may start to be some blurring. But for simplicity, if it can be measured, it's physical. If it cannot be measured, it's metaphysical. I hope this book has been enlightening and seeded your ideas of metaphysics from the other side.